The story begins in Japan during an unusually wet period. Hina Amano, a teenage girl, finds herself sitting by her dying mother's bedside in a Tokyo hospital. During her time there, she discovers a pool of sunlight at a decrepit shrine atop a ruined building. Drawn to it, Hina leaves her mother's side, crosses the shrine gate, and is briefly transported to a world that seems to be in the sky. Meanwhile, Hodaka Morishima, a high school freshman, decides to run away from his home and make his way to Tokyo. On his journey, he encounters a dangerous rainstorm on a ferry, but his life is saved by a man named Keisuke Suga. In gratitude, Hodaka treats Keisuke to a meal and receives his business card for future assistance. Once in Tokyo, Hodaka faces challenges supporting himself due to his status as a runaway minor, making legal employment difficult. Despite trying to find work online, he ends up spending nights at a cybercafe and eventually opts to save money by staying on the streets. One night, seeking shelter in the doorway of a lift lobby, Hodaka encounters a stray cat. He decides to feed the cat, feeling a connection as both of them are in similar situations. However, he's rudely awakened by a club's host, who kicks him out and sends him crashing into a trash can. While cleaning up the mess, Hodaka discovers a package he had picked up earlier and opens it in a McDonald's. To his surprise, the package contains a gun. Initially frightened, he convinces himself it must be a toy and decides to keep it as a good luck charm. Sitting in McDonald's without ordering anything, Hodaka is approached by Hina, who offers him a free meal out of pity. The next day, Hodaka contacts Keisuke, the man who saved him on the ferry, and secures a job as an assistant at Keisuke's small publishing company. At the office, he meets Natsumi Suga, Keisuke's niece, whom Hodaka initially mistakes for Keisuke's mistress. Together, Hodaka and Natsumi delve into investigating urban legends related to the peculiar weather in Tokyo. Through a psychic, they hear about the legend of a sunshine girl and a rain girl, beings believed to have the power to control the weather. On a rainy day, Hodaka witnesses Hina being coerced into working at a dubious club by the same man who had kicked him out earlier. Recognizing her as the girl who had shown him kindness, Hodaka attempts to rescue her. They manage to escape together, with the club host in pursuit. The host pins Hodaka down, but Hodaka surprises everyone by firing the gun he found earlier, and Hina pulls him away, leading them to a nearby abandoned building, the same one Hina had seen while sitting with her mother. Inside the building, Hina scolds Hodaka for intervening, explaining that she needed the job to support herself and her sibling. She criticizes Hodaka for using the gun and turns to leave. Hodaka, realizing his mistake, throws the gun across the floor. Recognizing Hodaka's remorse, Hina returns and deduces that he's a runaway. She expresses a desire to show him something and takes him to the building's rooftop. On the building's rooftop, Hina showcases her ability to clear the sky through prayer, leaving Hodaka impressed. Introductions follow, with Hina boasting that she's 17, making her older than Hodaka. They arrange to meet at Hina's house, setting the stage for their budding connection. Shortly afterward, at Camp A, Hodaka engages in a conversation with Natsumi about sunshine girls. Natsumi playfully expresses excitement at the idea of being a sunshine girl, and teasingly asks Hodaka about his upcoming date with her. Hodaka insists that it's not a date, but Natsumi continues to banter with him as she gets up to leave. Meanwhile, Keisuke meets with Mrs. Mamiya, his late wife's mother, at a cafe to discuss custody arrangements for his daughter, Mocha. Mrs. Mamiya rejects his request to see Mocha, citing his smoking habit as a concern that might negatively influence the child's perception of him. Later that day, Hodaka meets Hina and her younger brother Nagi at their home. Hina graciously cooks lunch for Hodaka, and the trio engages in a discussion about job opportunities. Inspired by the concept of the Sunshine Girl, Hodaka proposes the idea of starting a business together. The plan is for Hina to utilize her mysterious ability to provide clear weather for special events, catering to people who desire favorable conditions for their occasions. This entrepreneurial venture proves to be a resounding success, drawing clients ranging from kindergarten students to corporate giants. As their business flourishes, a few months into their new venture, they are tasked with ensuring clear skies for the Jingu Gaian Fireworks Festival. Hina successfully accomplishes the feat. And afterward, she and Hodaka sit on the building's roof, reflecting on their achievements. Hina expresses her happiness about starting this job, and the two watch the fireworks together. The following day, Natsumi writes her resume while waiting in the car for Keisuke to finish a phone call. Keisuke contemplates lighting a cigarette, but refrains as a cat, jumps onto the desk. Deciding to call Mrs. Mamiya about his daughter, Keisuke eventually joins Natsumi in the car. They discuss Hodaka and his compensation, leaving Natsumi disgusted by the meager pay. Meanwhile, Hina, Nagi, and Hodaka take on a job for Fumi Tachibana at her home. Their task is to clear the sky so Fumi can light a fire in memory of her deceased husband. Despite Fumi expressing regret that they're quitting the job, Hodaka explains that they need to lay low for a while because Hina was caught on camera at the festival. Hodaka mentions that it will be Hina's birthday in a week. Keisuke and Natsumi continue their investigation into the urban legends surrounding the mysterious girl with the ability to change the weather. They consult a priest at a shrine who shares a legend about a weather maiden, emphasizing that such powers come at a significant cost. Meanwhile, Yasui and Takai pursue the host who had harassed Hina, questioning him about Hodaka. They show the host a CCTV picture of Hodaka pointing his gun, seeking information. Subsequently, the policemen discuss Hodaka over a bowl of ramen. As Hodaka watches Nagi's school soccer match, he seeks advice online about the best gift for an 18-year-old girl. After the game, Hodaka and Nagi discuss Hina, with Hodaka expressing his dilemma in finding a gift. Nagi playfully suggests that Hodaka might be in love with Hina, leading to a blush and a fervent denial from Hodaka. Nagi offers love advice, and Hodaka decides to buy a ring for Hina. He heads to a jewelry store and asks the saleswoman Mitsuha Miyamizu for her opinion. Mitsuha assures him that Hina will appreciate the gesture, given the time he took to select the ring, and wishes him luck in his romantic endeavor. At the park, Keisuke, his daughter Moka, and Nagi play together while Hina and Hodaka sit and watch. Hina's recent job involved clearing the sky for Moka, enabling her to play outside despite her asthma. The group engages in conversation until Natsumi arrives. Hodaka, in a moment of misunderstanding, asks Keisuke if he'll be in trouble with Natsumi because he has a wife. This leads to laughter from Keisuke and accusations of perversion from Hina and Natsumi. As the group discusses the absent men and their similarities, Natsumi informs Hina about the dangerous rumor regarding the Sunshine Girl. As darkness falls and the rain resumes, the six part ways. Nagi accompanies the Sugas to a restaurant, while Hodaka and Hina walk back to the Amano home together. As Hodaka walks behind Hina, he grapples with the nerves of confessing his feelings and giving her the ring. Before he can broach the subject, Hina interrupts him with something important to share. Suddenly, a gust of wind sweeps Hina away, leaving Hodaka in shock as she descends from the sky. It becomes clear that she is experiencing the curse of the Sunshine Girl, gradually turning invisible. While walking back to Hina's place, she narrates the story of how she became a Sunshine Girl at the rooftop shrine. The initial intentions of confession and the ring are momentarily forgotten. At Hina's apartment, Hodaka takes refuge in the bathroom, while the police question Hina about his whereabouts. The situation unravels as it's revealed that Hodaka's parents have filed a missing person report, and the police are investigating his involvement with illegal firearms. The officers notify Hina that social services will intervene to take Nagi, her younger brother, as they are minors without a legal guardian. After the police leave, Hodaka seeks out Keisuke in his car. Keisuke, acknowledging the complications surrounding Hodaka, reluctantly terminates his employment and provides severance pay. Keisuke expresses regret for being unable to offer further assistance due to concerns about potential complications in his custody battle for his daughter. Hodaka decides to run away with them. However, the abnormal weather worsens, and as they attempt to escape, they are apprehended on the streets. Hodaka is caught by two police officers, but Hina, using her powers, creates a distraction by praying for lightning to strike nearby, allowing them to escape to a hotel. The trio spends the night at the hotel, but as they prepare to sleep, Hina confides in Hodaka about her predicament. She reveals that her body is gradually turning into water, who becomes a living sacrifice to restore normal weather. Hodaka is determined to prevent this fate and promises to protect her. The following day, Hina goes missing, and the rain ceases. Hodaka sets out to find her, but he and Nagi are taken by the police before they can leave the hotel. Despite being detained, Hodaka manages to escape the police station in pursuit of Hina. He receives unexpected help from Natsumi, who happens to be passing by. The police chase Hodaka until he reaches the building with the shrine where Hina first obtained her powers. Inside the building, Hodaka encounters Keisuke, who tries to prevent him from running away. The police manage to track Hodaka down, surrounding him. In a surprising turn, Keisuke, moved by his concern for Hodaka, aids him in escaping from the police. Hodaka makes his way to the top of the building and jumps through the shrine. Hodaka finds himself in a surreal place he never knew existed. As he falls through the sky, he witnesses enormous clouds and strange creatures. He even gets swallowed by a creature called a skyfish, but to his relief, it doesn't harm him. Eventually, Hodaka reaches Hina, who is peacefully sitting on a grassy field in the sky. Urging her to grab his hand, they clasp onto each other and continue their descent together. Falling endlessly, Hodaka expresses his disregard for the incessant rain, emphasizing that all he wants is to be with Hina, even if the entire world drowns. Their descent leads them to the top of a building, marking the conclusion of their journey, at least for now. Fast forward 3 years, and Tokyo is submerged underwater due to incessant rain. Hodaka, now back on his island, is finishing high school. He informs his friends that he's returning to Tokyo, now that the police are no longer after him. Upon his return, he seeks employment and stumbles upon an old ad from Hina, featuring a weathering request. Intrigued, he speaks to a lady who had requested weathering. She reveals that everything is now as it was supposed to be. Hodaka decides to visit Hina. Locating her around her house, he rushes toward her, expressing his joy that he got exactly what he wanted. Hina, unconcerned about the rainy weather, he declares that together they have changed the world forever.